North Korea may have successfully produced a miniature nuclear warhead that can fit inside its missiles. This is according to a report just out from the Washington Post. Now, earlier this hour, I asked Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters about basically getting to the point where they are becoming a full-fledged nuclear power. What do we do about that? Here's his response.
I don't want this to be a war. I don't want it. Nobody in their right mind wants it. But we cannot allow North Korea to have an array of missiles, an arsenal of missiles, nuclear-tipped missiles that can hit the United States. If it comes to that, I would hit them first and hit them hard, knowing that it will be bloody and ugly if we do so.
All right, joining me right now, Republican Congressman Doug Lamborn of Colorado. Congressman, good to have you here. Obviously, a lot of breaking news going on right now. What's your reaction to what you heard from the Colonel? Do we need to be thinking about military might, military use right now with North Korea?
Although all options need to be on the table, I think it's important that we keep adding to and upgrading our missile defenses. We have theater or regional defenses in South Korea and Japan, and we have intercontinental defenses with interceptors based in Alaska and California. But we don't have enough of these, and we need to constantly be upgrading them. Some are older than others. So we really have to have the dollars in our defense legislation, and the Senate is a little iffy on this, I hate to say, but we have to have the additional dollars in our defense legislation to fund missile defense completely.
All right. You know, that's understandable, but you're telling me you're just going to sit around and wait for him to fire them at us, and then we're going to defend ourselves, or do we need to be a little bit more proactive?
Well, we have to exhaust all diplomatic means also. China is finally starting to make some progress and step up to the plate, given what they did with the UN on Saturday, agreeing to sanctions. That's a positive development. But we have to send a message to Kim Jong-un that all options are on the table. And we can't take any options off the table.
Which is why, you know, the defense system is great and everything, but that may not be the option in terms of the here and now. We get basically a year and a half, according to Colonel Peters, before they're able to hit the likes of possibly Chicago. I mean, so we need to take it seriously, and we need to stop their program. But sanctions, Congressman, they haven't worked in the past. And I know you're going to tell me, well, this time it's different. China agreed to this along with Russia, and, you know, it's $1 billion. But I would point out they've got a $28 billion economy. Sure, $1 billion in sanctions is something, but it's still a small percentage of their overall economy. And that's if China lives up to its side of the bargain and actually enforces the sanctions.
Well, you're exactly right, and I'm not even sure that sanctions would work. We know that Kim Jong-un doesn't care about the welfare of his people, and they're the ones that would suffer, so that's immaterial to him. We have to make it crystal clear to him and his military leadership that all options are on the table, number one, and we will not allow their missile program to put nuclear weapons inside the continental United States. It's bad enough Alaska and Hawaii. But the continental U.S.,
well,
Chicago?
We can't let it get near Alaska. We can't let it get near Hawaii. I mean, this is serious stuff. And, Congressman, you know, I think it's bringing up issues that, as Colonel Peters basically said, that we don't always want to discuss, and we're not always comfortable discussing, because if you do strike first, you're talking about massive casualties. And that comes with the horror of the casualties themselves and a whole slew of other consequences as well. Let's hope we're not getting there. But do you think there's a chance of that?
There's a chance for everything. I just came back from South Korea, and there are over 20 million people in the Seoul metropolitan area, which is reachable by artillery from North Korea, much less, you know, not even talking about nuclear weapons, high explosive artilleries. So that's deeply troubling. But right now, if they continue their program, here's what you end up with. You have to bet Los Angeles on the fact that Kim Jong-un will stay rational. How many people are willing to make that bet?
I'm not willing to take that bet. I don't think anyone's willing to take that bet if you really force them on it. Congressman, thank you very much.